This is the Kestrel Country Podcast, where we discuss the people, places, and events all around Kestrel Country. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Kestrel Country Podcast. It's good to be back, and it is fall officially as of a couple days ago. Coming to you from the office of Kestrel Realty Group here on 6th Street. I'm Mike Church, your host, joined once again by my lovely wife and co-host, Catherine.
Hello, hello.
Signature hello, hello. Happy fall.
Yeah,
and the weather has just been incredible. We got a little rain finally here in Kestrel Country.
Cleared the air.
And now we've got 70. It's supposed to be like 80 tomorrow, sunny.
It's gorgeous.
It's nice. This kind of weather makes me hungry.
Well, it's also almost lunchtime.
Yeah. And today we had a super fun interview. Just finished up with Jake McAtee and Samuel Dickison.
Yep.
At Woosters.
Well, located here in Moscow. Yep.
Yeah.
No, I know, but it sounded
Woosters.
like, I know, but
So-
you sounded like we were recording at Woosters.
No. So Woosters Pizzeria, new pizza place, downtown Moscow. They just opened. We got to eat there
Last Friday.
Super awesome. Really fun. Great addition to downtown.
Mm-hmm. It's 2 doors down from Tapped on Main Street. I don't have the address right in front of me.
But really fun to hear their story, how they got started, the process, all of their ingredients. Really, really cool. So get yourself down to Woosters, get a pizza. Enjoy this discussion about how Woosters got started, and really fun, fascinating conversation.
Absolutely.
Woosters.
Yeah.
So Jake and Samuel, thanks for coming in.
Of course. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I felt like we really should have done this with pizza.
That was a mistake. Yeah,
Selfishly,
How
breakfast
did this happen?
I did that.
What'd you do?
I put eggs on my leftover
I
white
saw it.
pie.
How did it go?
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
It was really good.
Did Ty give you that idea?
No,
No.
this was all Mike. Because
really?
we've made pizza
I
with
like
eggs on it.
I like breakfast pizza.
See, we love pizza.
Do you like cold pizza?
No,
That's what I've always
heat
thought of
it.
as breakfast pizza.
Oh, because it's the leftover.
No, I reheat it.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, and that's kind of a debate in our family. We
Yes, it
have
is.
James, our youngest. He is a cold pizza guy.
He's 5.
Yeah.
He's
I
all
love
like, "Do not heat up my pizza."
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know how the white would do cold, but the red sauce stuff I think would go well.
Yeah. I'm a cold pizza guy too. So
So you're with him.
You're like leftover cold pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you don't have too much of that going on.
We don't. We've been, we've been doing dollar slices the last 2 hours every night. And that has been going well in terms of getting pizza out the door.
So the early bird does not necessarily get the worm.
Yeah.
You want to
There's worms for both early and late birds.
Yeah. Or night critters, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when, you guys just opened,
Yep.
but when did all of this start?
Whose brainchild was it?
At the time, this was in 2019, Samuel worked at Canon. He was in there's this pocket office of Canon called the Creative Suite. And at the time, there's only like 3 of us, which now there's like 12 of us. So it was a very different time. But Samuel was over there doing design, and I had just returned from a trip to New York where it was my first time, traveled the city by going to pizzerias. And it kept us moving. And like the people I stayed with were like, it's better than shopping. Some people that visit them do shopping, and that takes forever. And then anyway, so it was a great way to see the city. And I came back just thinking it's crazy how good pizza can be. So we just started talking about how to do it.
Yeah.
Like what's the difference? I don't know. It was sort of just a puzzle for us. How do you get good pizza? So eventually me and Samuel both started bringing in homemade pizza into the office. Very bad pizza that we put on our coworkers.
Like, was this a competition? Was it
Not really. No, it was more or less just like
Yeah.
sharing different.
Well, when he came back and started talking about pizza, I we have these like old family friends, the O'Briens, who had built a pizza oven in their yard, like when we were little.
Yeah.
And pretty quickly on, we realized you have to have a pizza oven to make good pizza. And so I'd always wanted to build one.
Especially for the health of the home ovens.
Right.
Yeah, to get them up
That
to
we
the
were-
And
temp.
this is a temperature issue.
It's a temperature issue.
Yeah, we ran ours 500.
Yeah.
You let it like preheat for like 45 minutes.
Yeah. The kitchen got really hot.
Yeah.
Not an ideal setup. But yeah, we realized you need the high temperature. And then there's something about the way pizza ovens cook as well, with like convection and the flame in there, that it keeps more moisture in the air. So instead of drying out the pizza, you get like the crisp, but you also get a moist cook as well. So
we ventured out to the O'Briens.
yeah,
And we dug clay out of the ground.
we live on the edge of town.
No way.
It was very nice. It was not
That's
very
awesome.
fun. It is. It's not. It wasn't
it
fun.
is.
at all. It's
Wheelbarrowed
just
several loads of clay uphill.
uphill.
So
Yeah.
did you document that
Well, this is
process?
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alec Ingerbretson from day one
Good.
filmed that
Oh, that's
process.
awesome.
So it was very fun.
It was really fun. Yeah.
Because that's something that I feel a lot of people don't know about this area. Like
Yeah,
there's
the clay.
there's this clay.
Yeah.
You used to make ceramics out of it,
Yep.
right? And all
Yeah,
that kind
you
of
can
stuff.
do porcelain. Wasn't
Yeah.
there a porcelain maker?
I think out in
maybe.
Troy, there's like,
Or Lewiston.
And there used to be
The
a
Jankovics?
Oh,
a
there's that
brick
guy in Lewiston.
spot.
Yeah. The Jankovics told us about a guy in Lewiston.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there
Yeah.
used to be bricks that were made in the area.
yeah.
Wow.
Not good for gardening, great for
Yeah.
ceramics and pizza ovens.
Yeah. So we just
Yeah.
brought it all back, dumped it in Sam's front yard.
Yeah.
And then this was, by this time, it was 2020. So,
It was like spring of 2020.
yep.
Yeah.
COVID, the
It's a good time to
lockdowns.
just do stuff
The
in your yard.
lockdowns. Yeah.
Great
It was
time.
kind of before all that, right before all that.
They
and
were
then
just
everyone
starting,
assumed that this was like our COVID project, which
Yeah.
it wasn't, but it,
Yeah. So we just threw get-togethers,
yeah.
illegal get-togethers.
The cops showed up one time,
Okay.
and we're very cool.
Did you give him
During
pizza?
They're very
COVID or
kind.
just to
We
show
offered
up?
a pizza. It was during COVID, like someone down the street
Oh.
said, there's a bunch of people there who don't look like family. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was
Which
true,
I
but-
thought that was rude. That was rude. Clearly, it was me that didn't look like family and his family. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, we started cooking out of that, and the pizza was still bad,
Super bad.
but it was bad in a different way.
Yeah.
Like there was light at the end of the tunnel. We could see like the crust getting puffier, and
What recipes were you using? And were you experimenting with flour at this point, or was this all still?
yeah, we were. We found there's a guy in Portland named Ken Forkish he started out as a bread baker and then opened a pizzeria, and he's got 2 books on bread and pizza, which those were kind of our dough Bibles at the start, but we also went down several like YouTube rabbit holes.
We were definitely YouTube trained.
Yeah.
The best of YouTube.
Yeah.
We were those students, graduates.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we were playing with those, and honestly, using fresh ingredients gets you like really, really far, especially in the pizza world. And I think this is what like got us very interested at the get-go was pizza. At this point, you can get everybody loves pizza as a blanket statement. We haven't wanted to turn into like people who don't like pizza.
Any kind of pizza.
We like pizza top to bottom, pizza
Very,
perfection all the way to Woosters.
Yeah.
We love it all. But there is something about when you have like quality ingredients, very well made. It's just next level. So I do think even just us introducing fresh ingredients, there are a lot of our friends who would not be eager to compliment anything we do. That would say the early stuff was good just because of like some of those reasons.
Yeah.
And then we had Ty and Koviak over. He told us he wanted to come over and try it. So he came over and brought like a bus tub of ingredients as well, toppings, which freaked me and Samuel out. We were just like,
We had not done any toppings.
nothing
It was
crazy.
uncharted territory.
Yeah, nothing crazy. So then we spent the night with him cooking and stuff. It was very fun. And then we got a text shortly after
Yeah.
that he would love to get lunch with us, which we thought we should really talk about how much this hobby is going to, how comfortable are we with this hobby growing into anything else. So
So it was still just a hobby at that point.
yeah, it was September, probably late September last year.
Okay.
We had thought maybe like in a year or 2 we would try to do a farmer's market booth or something.
Okay, so you were
then,
you
like-
were thinking
Long term,
towards, like,
5 years.
Way down the road.
5 years, yeah. So like farmer's market to us was like really stressful.
Right.
Even just thinking about it.
Because
So
then you'd have to have one on a truck or
Right.
Yeah.
truck, yeah. And thinking about putting whatever is in Samuel's front yard still on a truck.
Yeah.
I don't know. We didn't really know how that was going to work. But we had lunch with Joel Cohen and Ty and Koviak.
Yeah. They had apparently already been talking about doing a pizza place, and then everything converged. And they pitched the idea of making it a real thing. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
And it was originally scheduled for November.
Of this
Like
time.
Joel, no.
Oh, of last year.
Of last year.
They were talking like we would give MZ pies for like Thanksgiving
Oh,
or
okay.
something like that. And we were
Okay.
like, wow, that's very, very soon.
Yeah.
And we weren't very good still.
So what did, to back up a little bit,
Yeah.
the oven, pizza oven, wood fired,
Yeah.
Yep.
is that, so there's a lot of, I guess maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm ignorant about it. It seems like wood fired is more of a niche, like kind of a unique thing. Or are a lot of pizzerias, so like when you were back in New York, are a lot of those wood fired?
Yes and no. So wood fire, if you looked up like wood fire, if you Googled it in images, a lot of it is going to look like it's a genre of pizza called Neapolitan. So it's going to look like Mylene. Mylene is a Neapolitan joint.
Okay.
So they're going to be like 14-inch pies, springy crust, and very soupy sounds bad, but it's just like very
Not a crisp.
not a crisp crust in the middle.
Yeah.
So that's Neapolitan pizza.
Yes.
And that is synonymous. Yeah. It's synonymous. They're true to the genre though. So it's
Right.
synonymous with wood fired generally.
Okay.
Yeah. Most places that use wood fire are like specifically that genre because it cooks so hot and so fast.
Because they need to keep that moisture. So
Yeah.
when you set fire, or when you're heating something, like Sam said earlier, it's a race to get your pizza done and structured enough to eat and come out of the oven without it drying up.
Yeah.
So for them, the fact that they can put it in an 800 degree oven, you can keep all that moisture. It's out in like 2 minutes.
So the pizzerias in New York City, they're not wood fired.
Not necessarily, no.
Not necessarily.
Most of the slice shops are not. They're like gas or electric.
99% of the slice shops like us
Yeah.
are not at all.
Which
So
we
what-
didn't
what
realize
was-
early on.
So what made you guys decide to go?
You're putting your finger on our terrible YouTube education.
Yeah.
No, but
But
really,
you stuck with it.
you did. And
So
I'm
what-
jumping. What about Serious Pie over in Seattle?
Serious pie. I had it.
I have heard of that. It's what's the guy's name?
Keller.
No, Tom Douglas.
Tom Douglas.
Oh,
yeah.
Because we've
Tim
been
Keller,
there.
Tom Douglas. I get them
New
confused.
York, Seattle.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
He's coast to coast.
Because that makes me think it's been a couple years since we were over there, but it's the crispy crust. It was super fast.
Yeah.
Wood fire?
I don't know.
I bet
I think it
not.
is.
That's my
I
question.
think it is actually because
Yeah.
I looked him up after someone else had mentioned
What's it
him.
called?
Serious
Serious
pie.
pie. There is like a genre called Neapolitan, which is still not quite what we're shooting for, but it's like more Neapolitan style, but bigger, and they cook it a little crispier. Which I think
so
is
that
more
might
like
be
serious.
his. Yeah, I feel like his was crispier.
Yep.
You guys have that nice chewy crust
Yeah.
that you get.
Yep.
yeah.
So what's
So
your genre?
you were kind of already into the wood fired thing
Yeah.
without realizing that all these
We're not
slice
wood-fired.
shops in New York weren't wood fired.
Well,
There was two in particular, like the two pizza places that were our guiding lights.
so there's this, but also practically for us, like me and him as a hobby are not going to buy like one of the gas ovens.
yeah.
Makes sense.
And then, so anyway, it was also a practical thing, but then yes, you can
Yeah.
pick up on where we got the idea.
So there's Lucali and Best Pizza in New York were like the two best places you went to.
Yep. Yeah. So there's these two pizzerias in New York, and one of them, I got to go to both while I was there. I didn't realize who the best pizza guy was, the owner, but especially Lucali, these are huge. They're huge on YouTube. They've definitely gained a ton of traction through that media. So and they actually have a lot of videos about them and how they do stuff. So me and Sam were big disciples of them. They do two very different kind of pizzas. They're very different kind of pizzerias. But Sam and I, we were just watching and we were like, that's cool.
And they're both wood fired.
And they're both wood fired. So one of them, so one of them is very sit down. It's very like you get in line for Lucali, for example, you get in line at like 3:00. They open at 5, and probably by the 4:30, once they get through the line, all the reservations are taken up, and it's they're done for the night.
Wow.
So that one's hard to get into, and they do probably like a 16-inch pie. It's not a slice anyway. Very, very good though. And then Best, which is in which is in Williamsburg. Their slice shop, and they also have a wood fire oven, but theirs came with it. They have a 100-year-old wood fire oven.
Whoa.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So he kind of was just gifted with this like sweet thing. So anyway, we just watched thousands of hours, or as many hours as we possibly could. There's not a YouTube video we haven't seen. So when they were talking about November of last year, I knew we weren't very good still, or we were good enough. But me and Sam have always thought if we're going to do Woosters, we did not plan for Woosters. This was not in like our dreams when we were 5 or anything like that.
So we can dive into that later.
Yeah, it was just sort of like we kind of like got pulled through the hedge backwards on it. So I thought if we're going to do this, I want it to be awesome, like way over the top. People travel to it, kind of good. So I reached out to several people, actually the Luke Cali guy I reached out to, and then the Best guy, the guy who runs Best, just as we needed help. And sort of being a canon, like there's just been times that I've been surprised by who will respond. So anyway, I just gave my best pitch for Woosters, which was, I don't know what it was at the time.
Was it Woosters at the time?
No, it wasn't named.
Unnamed.
Yeah.
But I gave my best pitch, and I just said, I don't really need your recipes, but we just need help to be better sooner than like we can do on our own. And it's funny, I found the guy that runs Best, his name is Frank Pinello, but he's a Sicilian guy. His name is Francesco Pinello. And I found 2 email addresses for Francesco Pinello, and I got 2 responses from each one. One was in full Italian, so I don't know who that guy is.
But he responded.
Yeah, I responded.
Yeah.
And then the other one was Frank Pinello from Best, and he was pumped. He was super excited about it. And he's got like his own show that gets like millions of views. He's got his own stuff going, and he just said like, I've never been to Idaho, so we should do it. And so we talked to the other guys about like what we could do to make it happen. And Frank was very kind in meeting us kind of where we were financially, and he agreed to come out.
That's awesome.
Very, very crazy.
So when was that?
So our November plans fell through. We were at, because the restaurant that we were going to be in remained. And then, so anyway, that fell through. So it took, I don't know, plans got bumped.
Yeah.
And then Frank came out
in March.
Beginning of March into February.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that was all about recipes.
Yeah.
We didn't have a space. We did have a space, but it was,
Yeah.
we got into our space January 1.
Mm-hmm.
He came out in March.
Yeah.
You're still in your
We had
yard.
no
still in the yard, yeah.
equipment. Yeah, we were in the yard. So that Sunday, I picked him up. I was traveling. I came into Spokane, waited an hour to pick him up, and then we both drove back to Moscow. That night, Frank threw one in your oven.
Yeah.
It was very cool. The coolest thing of all time.
That's awesome.
The very coolest thing of all time. So anyway, he helped us with a ton of stuff.
We did dough boot camp. Mm-hmm. He basically worked through all like dough, sauce, and cheese, kind of with what we had been doing, and then told us how to make it all better.
Made fun of my sauce big time. That was embarrassing.
Yeah.
What was wrong with your sauce?
It's too much.
We were
I was
trying
doing
too hard,
much.
yeah.
I was going
Okay.
too much, and he's just like, "So what are you looking for?"
That was like I
good question.
think it was the first night. That was a really eye-opening experience because we'd been paying attention to tomatoes and stuff and trying to get good ingredients, but we had been like cooking it for different amounts of time and adding different spices. So like that night I think we had brought like 3 sauces that we'd been using for him to try. He made a couple pies with them. Then he was like, "Do you have just like a can of tomatoes?" And so I grabbed one off the basement shelf, and he opened it, put some salt in, and we used that. And it was like head and shoulders above anything we'd done.
It was embarrassing.
It was embarrassing. But he was like, yeah, just like don't cook it. Let the fresh tomato kind of come through. It'll be sweeter. He talked a lot about this. Like if you do that with your sauce and then you have fresh cheese, you get kind of that like strawberries and cream flavor combination, which was true. And we'd never experienced that. So, and then he kind of did that with every element of what we've been doing.
He took all of our own ingredients that night. Because the first night he was like, "You guys should just do what you've been doing. I don't want to do anything."
Yeah.
And then he made a pizza with all of our own stuff that was infinitely better than
Anything we'd made.
we had done that night. So anyway, that was super awesome. And then he's actually coming back Sunday. So
Oh, cool.
Fun.
he'll be here Sunday through Thursday.
Part 2.
Yep.
Nice. Now that you're all set up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so excited for him to be in the space and to help us out with like pizzeria things, not just recipe stuff.
Running of the restaurant side of it.
So when did the name come and where did it come from?
That was kind of late in the game. It was, so we had spent, I don't know, like a month or two trying to find names. And then there's this documentary that came out called Pizza: A Love Story, which is about these pizzerias in New Haven, Connecticut that are all coal-fired, which is its own other thing entirely.
Whoa.
But a bunch of, there's like 4 or 5 kind of legendary ones all in Worcester Street. And so
They're top 10 every year.
yeah,
They're iconic, and they're some of the oldest. So
right.
Anyway,
They kind of claim to be the birthplace of pizza in America.
yeah. If you put if you put a guy in front of each, you could play catch
In Connecticut.
In
New
Connecticut.
Haven, Connecticut.
Yeah.
Haven.
It's like this kind of small town, this old industrial town that is like,
And the street's tiny. I actually recently got to drive through it. It was at 2 a.m. so no pizza was open. But
you were there.
I drove on Worcester Street.
Yeah.
And it's tiny.
yeah,
Tiny. Barely 2 cars can get past.
yeah. And then, so we watched that documentary. And then before that, we had also been talking about like the ethos of the place. We wanted it to be like the best pizza we could make, but not self-serious. Because a lot of like, we didn't want it to be artisan pizza. Like a lot of Neapolitan places make great pizza, but take themselves pretty seriously. There's like an official Neapolitan pizza stamp you can get if you follow all these rules. So we didn't want to be in that ditch. And like PG Woodhouse is one of our favorite authors. So we had talked about him as kind of a poster child of like quality, not self-serious.
Yeah, like people are in suits, but like a food fight could break out.
Right, yeah. They're throwing
So we
dinner
liked
rolls
that
at
a
the
lot.
Drones Club. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the combination of that with the documentary, Worcester's made a lot of sense.
It came out of nowhere, to be honest.
Yeah. I think Rosalie and I were watching it late one night, and I think it was actually Rosalie. She was
Nice.
like, what if you called it Worcester's?
We tried several other things, but
Yeah.
Worcester's worked.
Who did the design work for you?
James and I.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
So in-house.
Yeah.
In-house.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So then the location, you guys are where, I don't know who's going to know what, but
Well, I grew up
it's
going
New Hong
to
Kong,
that.
right?
As a kid,
Yeah.
that's where I went
New
on
Hong
New
Kong?
Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Was New Hong Kong.
There's a whole generation that walks in there and says, like, we used to come here all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Like you don't have a golden cat.
See,
No, the
I
little cat and the big bar.
the Golden Cats were gone when we got there because it was a sandwich shop
Right.
in between.
It was kitchen counter.
Kitchen counter, yeah. But
Yeah.
I was in the attic, I don't know, like a week ago doing some work, and there are like tomato cans and like old ingredient bags up in the attic from New Hong Kong days.
Wow.
So there's still some paraphernalia.
I got here in 2016, so I never knew
Yeah.
about New Hong Kong. But we did see I think when we were looking at like what we should do at the front, I saw like their old sign that was up there.
Yeah.
It looked awesome.
Yeah.
It was good. It was
Yeah.
fun. Their almond
Well,
chicken. That's what.
I like what you guys have done with the space. I mean, it's very, I don't know. It's funny because Moscow has changed so much over the last number of years. Like
Yeah.
in some ways it kind of fits now, but it feels very,
Have you guys been in
not
since we did the
Moscow.
pictures?
The pictures.
Yeah, so
You
we just
added-
put up.
So.
We
No.
just you should tell them about the pictures.
Yeah, we found the Lake County Historical Society has this giant archive of
Yes, we
old
love it.
Moscow photos. Yeah. And most of them are on Google Art. But I just dug through all their pictures and found old photos back to like 1911, I think,
Yeah.
of that spot on Main Street.
Oh, fun.
So we just got those hung up the other day.
Oh, fun.
It's very
I
cool.
love it.
It's very cool.
nice. Well, and the neon, where do you get that neon?
Yeah, that was cool.
So it's
Tell
not
them so, be honest.
yeah, it's not real neon actually. I know.
I know it's bad.
We were early on. We had our heart set on real neon for that classic pizzeria vibe, and then we discovered that it's incredibly expensive and no one does it. But there's this place in Lewiston called Fast Science that does LED, and
It looks just like neon.
Yeah.
It really
yeah,
does.
I
they
think
did a
too,
great
that's
job. Yeah.
also because of the design.
Yeah, James
Yeah.
James Ingebrigtsen did the design of those two signs.
And shot to make it look as neon-y,
yeah,
at least in script form that he could.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're really happy with that.
And we have one more piece coming.
We do. We have one more big neon sign for kind of above the pizza area.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's really fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool. So you've been open like a week? off.
Yeah, a week today,
Today,
actually.
yeah, the week today.
Yeah, last
7
Friday was
days.
our first night of selling pizza for money.
Anything stand out as super exciting? Do you have any
stories
stories
that have already
you're
come?
willing to share?
Yeah, I mean, it's been, I think this is probably true of every restaurant, but a real roller coaster of highs and lows. We haven't had any disasters, which I'm really thankful for. We've had a lot of happy customers. We had one guy come in the other night who ordered a slice. He came back like 10 minutes later and he was like, I could have made this with ketchup and bread dough.
Oh, he just
And
said ketchup and bread.
Or bread, not even bread dough.
Ketchup and bread, and he asked for a
Wonder
refund.
bread and ketchup.
I honestly thought that was a really funny line, and
Yeah.
he deserves his refund.
And we gave him his money back. Yeah.
So if we
I
try
thought that was
line.
funny. yeah. Well, I think we're
I
gonna
would-
do
Get
shirts.
a new line.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you
That's
guys
been
can
our-
come up.
No, your house manager, I don't know if is that
Steve.
what he is. Because we went in last
Yeah.
Friday,
Yeah.
and I just came up to the counter while we were waiting and asked for a couple cups of water, and then she's like, "Oh, we don't do cups," and so I was like, "Okay, I'll buy some water bottles." But he was like, "No, on me." You know, it's really.
So that's why you're not
Way to go,
making any
Steve.
money.
I'm riding him out.
blame
I was
Steve.
appreciative.
Yeah.
I was so
Yeah.
appreciative.
Yeah. Steve is the nicest guy.
He's great.
He's been awesome as our manager. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, you guys had come. You came when we were back at Sam's once.
Great. Yes. Oh, that
Yeah.
was funny, actually.
That's right.
Catherine's not always very nice. So she was out. She was in town. We live like 20 minutes out of town, and she was in town
I
doing
was running a
something.
kids play
and
practice.
I was on Instagram where I spend some of my time sometimes, and I saw the post about like, hey, we've got pizza to give
Yeah.
away right now. And I just freaked out about it. I'm like, Catherine, we need some pizza. Like, you're in town. I need you to go by there. And figured it would all be gone. I didn't have my hopes set too high anyway. So I'm like, people are going to see this. It's all going to be gone, And so couldn't get a hold of her right away. And then she's like, okay, I'll go by. And she's like, I was like, did you get any pizza? She's like, oh, they were out. Sorry, they didn't have any.
Dang,
I was like, dang, that really sucks. I was like pretty depressed.
Yeah.
And then she comes
Mike
home,
and
walks
food.
in the door with
nice.
a box of pizza. And
Nice.
it was
Nice. I was going to say, how many times did that happen? Because I'm pretty sure we made it.
Yes, you did. But
Okay.
I told you,
Yeah.
or told people at the time, I was like, I'm going to tell Mike I didn't get one
love
because
that.
Mike loves
move.
food so much.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I
he
do.
plans mentally which bite he's going to eat where. You don't take food from Mike if you don't want to be attacked.
That's true.
But
I'm glad you got your pizza.
What was it? Do you remember what it was?
it was a white one.
Okay.
Now I think you'd added more toppings than the standard.
See, this has been a debate.
Yeah.
Do you put toppings on the white pie?
Yeah.
Or is the white pie just
We can.
You
we
can.
We've done bacon. Bacon
See,
seems to be
that-
very popular.
Okay,
was
see, I
bacon
think
on
there
the
was
first
bacon
one.
on it the first time because then when I
Really?
ordered it Friday,
Okay.
I
pretty
ordered
sure.
the pizza and Mike was
Yeah.
like, "There's no meat
Yeah.
on either pizza that you got."
I'd be surprised if we had done it at your house.
We could have.
I
It
don't
was
know.
always
I
like
didn't
a
ask
roll
for
of the
anything
dice, like,
special. I just got what
Okay.
I asked
So
Rosalie. She said,
it
"Get
could
the
have just
white."
been in my memory. Like,
Yeah.
I
It
would
was super
imagine
good.
bacon
People like
on
the
it.
bacon for sure.
Yeah.
On the white.
I
think
liked
that's a
it
good combo.
either way. I
Yeah.
like the onions a ton.
Yep.
Really love the onions.
Yeah, and speaking of, what do you guys have a favorite pie that you make?
I think the grandma pie has become like
Right now we're
the
pretty
dark
excited
horse.
about.
Yeah.
Which is
grandma.
a pan?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's made in a pan. So it's just gonna have a different cook on our crust. So it's the same dough
Yeah.
we use for the rounds, but it's gonna cook since all that heat's going through the pan. It's gonna have like way more of a focaccia airy crunch.
Yeah.
And that one's been one that like I've seen convert people like right away. So I'm very excited about the grandma currently.
And so toppings, what do you guys have? Do you
recommend?
recommend certain toppings on the pizzas?
We have pretty traditional fare for toppings. Nothing wild.
A lot though. I mean,
Yeah. And we've got like several meats, ham, pepperoni, sausage,
ham, pepperoni, sausage,
classic veggies.
Kalamata.
That's probably our
Olives.
fanciest topping is the Kalamata olives.
Because I have to like take a second before I say it out loud. Kalamata.
Picture it first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are neat.
Yeah.
I haven't eaten them. Pepper and cheese.
But they look good.
Yeah.
They do look good.
Yeah,
they
they're
look
salty.
they look cool.
Yeah. We do raw sausage. Starts out raw and then we cook it. Just to be clear,
Samuel, please.
if you feel really adventurous,
Yeah.
I think the sausage is really good.
I still haven't had it.
Yeah.
So
I've had our house pies, we don't do any toppings. We have like a pepperoni, white cheese and grandma. But if like a customer orders something and then it doesn't come out right, we'll take it in the kitchen and eat it. So I had one the other day that was like sausage and mushroom that was really good.
Mushrooms have been big.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's
are
not.
you guys down on toppings then?
We're not.
No,
We're not. But I feel like maybe we have a reputation.
yeah.
For
We're
being-
very ecumenical when it comes to toppings.
But that's mostly because as we started, we wanted to focus on those first three things because we feel like no one else does.
Yeah. We wanted the cheese slice to like carry its own weight
Yeah.
without relying on toppings.
Start with the base, so you're not
Yeah.
like masking the
Right.
crust
Right.
and a ton of
Or
fancy
yeah,
toppings.
too often I feel like people use the crust as like a spoon for like toppings.
We had the
Yeah.
most toppings I've ever seen on a pizza at Sandpoint.
Wow.
I mean, that thing weighed a ton.
Yeah.
It was inches.
And what was the
I'm
pizzeria?
serious.
Do you remember?
Oh dang, I forgot.
I'd
the
have to
name
look
of
it up.
It's in Sandpoint, and that's what they do.
Yeah, it's
so like we
serious
had
toppings,
we had
yeah.
a big group of people, and so we ordered whatever 5 pizzas. They're like, I think you only need 2 or 3. We're like, you don't know how we eat pizza, and we
Load
had
it up.
so much left over because each slice was like. Yeah,
lasagna.
like the crust and
Yes,
everything
it
was
was
not
like
great,
a
but it was
lasagna.
just
Yeah.
like that was their shtick.
Yeah.
Was like
Got it.
tons and tons
Yeah.
of toppings.
And there's definitely a place for that.
There is, yeah. We just wanted to differentiate ourselves how we could.
Yeah.
So you can do that at Woosters as well. You can get a lot of toppings.
Well, I
Will
think we
it
limit it to
affect-
3.
Okay, I was going to
We
ask
have.
what the limit of the weight or the,
Yeah.
I think
To actually make it
you
cook
can push
right.
it.
Yeah.
You can push it.
You
though.
can push it.
Okay.
The danger is once it starts getting heavy, it takes longer to cook, and then you're either burning the crust or it sinks through and you get holes in the pizza. It's a delicate balance, but yeah.
We're up for the challenge. Though.
We are.
We dare you to order.
The grandma with some toppings.
Yeah.
The grandma would be the easiest
grandma
one
can
to add
handle it.
toppings to.
that makes
She's
sense.
a workhorse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I saw anchovies on Instagram.
Yeah.
Did you?
Maybe it wasn't Worcester's Instagram.
No,
Maybe
it
it
was
was just your
I put
Instagram.
it,
But
no. Or yeah. I
is
don't
that
know.
happening?
We do utilize anchovies.
Yeah. In the grandma sauce, there's a little
So
bit
it's
of
more of a, it's like an anchovy salt paste.
a little
is
bit
what
of
we
like
did.
umami.
Gotcha.
I think if you didn't know it was there, you wouldn't.
You wouldn't know.
Right. It just adds a saltiness to it.
Yep. It's just like a different whole, like there's salt and then there's like this world up here.
Yeah.
So I think, nobody really knows what it is, but they like it a lot. So it's a lot chunky. That sauce in general is totally different than the rounds. So
Yeah. We don't have it as a topping yet.
I suppose we will. Would you do anchovies?
I would, yeah.
Well, and I
might
like
be
them
the
in a
only one in
sauce.
the
So there's a
family.
green goddess sauce that we do that is kind of like on a ciabatta.
Yeah.
And so it's like a sandwich and it's super good
Yeah.
with the anchovies, but they're all ground up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would totally be game to try it.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been fighting the
I've been
anchovy
very
battle.
suspicious of
Yeah.
anchovies. I don't like, fish, it just seems too much.
Mixing in the fish with the
It's
Yeah.
mostly salt, though.
It is.
That
It's
is
more than
saltiness.
So that's what
fish.
I've learned. So that's
Yeah.
I've come that far to know that it is. What pizza like have you guys super enjoyed? Like, what's your pizza world?
Well, so we love pizza. So
Yeah.
Friday night is pizza night. That's not unique, but we have what's called an uni.
Oh
yeah.
Have you
yes.
seen
Yes,
those?
seen that.
Yep.
And we've taken it camping with us.
Nice.
So that's been super fun. That's our wood fired.
Yep.
The closest we get for that.
No, it's
Because that's
great.
like a gas.
Pellet.
Well, it's pellet.
Ours
Oh,
is
pellet,
wood
okay.
Yeah.
pellets. So we just
That's
use
nice.
Traeger pellets in it. And
Yeah.
it gets,
and it gets it nice and
I
hot.
don't know
Unis
how it got
have
it, but
been
I mean,
wild.
you can, they're the small pies,
Yeah,
you know,
because it's
but you
not
can cook it in like, it's like it's a minute period.
Yeah.
30 seconds in, flip it.
Yep.
And
There's a
yeah,
ton on YouTube
It's good.
in reference to the uni
the
world.
uni.
Yeah, people are doing
That's been cool to see
sweet
because
work.
it seems like with unis, more people are getting into like quality pizza.
It's
Yep.
fun.
Yeah.
And I've only done in the uni their recipe for the crust.
Oh,
I think
okay.
I messed with the flour. Like
We're
used
kind
shepherd's
of,
cream maybe.
I would say,
But-
like, we're pretty,
we
we like
kinda like
everything
everything.
too.
Yeah.
I'm kind of
I mean,
that way
we'll
with
buy
lots
from-
like coffee. I'm like, I like gas station coffee and I love super good espresso. Like,
very much so.
so we like Fazari's on
Yeah, we like
Clarkston.
Fazari's.
Yep.
Their Shotzi pizza.
We've tried to imitate
That's the one. It's got mustard sauce
with
Yeah.
kielbasa and
And-
sauerkraut
and
and
onion
onions.
and
It
Swiss.
seems to be a legendary pizza around
Have you
here.
tried it?
It's
I was
like-
gonna
haven't
say, were
yet.
you at that Cannon lunch where Aaron was like, it's the best, and
Yeah.
he was like, it's not the best.
So I think you will have probably.
oh yeah. I mean, it's
Division.
mustard and
Divisive.
sauerkraut.
Yeah,
So
No, it's awesome. It was awesome to watch.
Yeah.
But I do that on just a bread dough.
so we
So
started
that's
making.
my
Okay.
typical
Nice.
Do you ferment the dough overnight?
No, I do the 5-minute artisan bread. The master
nice.
recipe is my go-to because
You don't have 24 hours just to,
Yeah, I'm not thinking ahead. Usually I do with the uni pizza dough. I let it sit longer, but
nice.
But that's our homemade recipes. So then they varied between what we're doing. If it's uni lightweight toppings versus the heavier baked toppings.
Nice.
We're excited about Woosters because
man.
I feel like that has
so
been
good.
a hole here.
It has been.
Like just really good. We've got the wood-fired Neapolitan thing.
Yep.
You've got like crappy, cheap pizza, big
Which we
giant
will still
pizzas.
eat.
Football pizza, yeah.
But we haven't
eat that
had
stuff
anything
I think we
more
were
traditional.
the only two out of like the owners who are like, we really like Pizza Perfection.
Yeah.
That was an unpopular take. That was unpopular.
It checks that nostalgic box, and it's like
Yeah.
solid pizza for
Chewy.
watching the game. Yeah.
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 So what are your hours? Do you have a grand opening coming up or anything?
I think this week has been our grand opening.
We've steered clear of grand.
It's felt pretty
It's
grand
been an
though.
opening. It's
Mediocre opening.
Yeah.
We've wanted
Waiting in at the shallow end
Yes.
to
opening.
wait in.
Yeah. We're going to
think that's
start
wise.
doing lunch next week.
Oh,
nice.
wow.
Yep. So right now it's 5 till 10 for dinner. And then it's starting, I think Wednesday we'll be open at 11 for lunch.
Nice.
Yeah.
With the help of Frank.
With the help of Frank, he'll
Will
be here.
it be just pizza? Or are you going to expand offerings to any sides with that?
Samuel?
Yeah. We are. We're going to be doing calzones soon.
wow.
Whoa.
We'll be doing garlic knots soon.
Wow.
We're going to do like a dessert calzone.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that
With
sounds good.
like Nutella and
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
mascarpone.
A little bit of mint.
Yeah.
Salads.
Super hungry.
We'll be doing salads
We'll be doing a salad.
against my better judgment.
Yeah. Frank's going to help us dial in a salad.
Yeah.
Does he? So he does salads.
Yep.
Okay.
He does a few things more. So he's got Best in Williamsburg, and then he's got a pizza and dive bar in Montauk, New York. So it's not right on the beach. It's very cool. And so he does different things at each. But
So why no salad? Like why were you opposed to salad?
I don't know.
It's just salad or is it?
I always felt like it was like if you're gonna have pizza, salad just felt like a real check swing. And apparently, I was one of the only people who felt that way.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
But I think we would make more money with a salad.
Well, see, my
probably
take
right.
is if I'm going to have pizza, I better have something healthy to go with it.
right.
And I need to balance off my level of fat.
It's
with
those
something
dollars that I
green.
want. Yeah, I agree with
Those
Samuel.
are the dollars.
I'm not going to eat our salad, but
Yeah.
I want those dollars.
Yeah.
There
'Cause
was
if,
a- there
if you
was a-
only have a limited amount of like stomach space,
Yeah.
why would you waste that on salad?
That was
where
my
we're
that
at.
was
No,
my
see,
thought
I'm on
process.
another side.
Yeah.
There was a lot of pressure
Exactly.
from the wives.
Yeah.
To get
that
salad.
makes
Wives, and honestly, we stood, the company line was no salad until we heard from Frank that we should do a salad.
Well,
Yeah.
That's where it started breaking down.
I can appreciate that because if it's a bad salad and you order a salad, you're kind of like, well, here's my raw mushroom and my carrot strip, and
Right.
Yeah,
So
don't
we
do
hope to do a
bad
good
salad.
one. We hope to
Yeah.
do just like a solid right up the middle.
We make our own mozzarella.
Oh,
And I
nice.
think that will help carry the salad. So
Do you make your own ricotta too?
no.
No,
We
we
get
do
ricotta
things
and
to it.
Add
Nice.
but we get it out of a thing.
yeah.
Nice. On
And-
that note,
Oh, can I ask one more question?
yeah.
The sesame seeds on the outside.
Oh yeah, where did that come?
Where's
So the
that come
white is 100% stolen from Frank.
Okay.
So you could look up Frank Panillo white pie, and there's a whole tutorial. Except he doesn't tell you what's in the ricotta. So the white pie, like Grandma, is probably our favorite right now because we're seeing people eat it, and it's different, and conversions are happening. But the white is like what me and Sam probably struggled with the most before Frank came.
Yeah.
So we were very
get it
invested in the white because we've, by the sweat of our brow, tried to nail it. And it was when he came and did a white pie for us that we were like, finally nailed it. So it's totally stolen from him, and we take no credit for anything. It is not ours at all.
And you could maybe put bacon on it, and that would be acceptable.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
I've never had it, but I think people do it.
Bacon makes a lot of sense for it.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thanks,
for having
guys.
us, guys.
Thanks
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks for joining us. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you next week.